Hello and welcome to season 2, episode 14 of Jacked Up and Being Frank. I'm your host, Jacked Up Honor, here with my co-host Frank Aranio, and today we're going to discuss the AFC Championship. Of course, it's going to be weird because next week we still have a week off also to the Super Bowl. So if you guys are kind of like want to hear all Super Bowl, this may not be the show, but we will dive in a little bit because we will be hitting on the AFC Championship and NFC Championship, which they have played in, of course. So you got to make the Super Bowl, but we'll touch on the NBA trade deadline as it's starting to shape form, and we're seeing what big players can be available. You're going to hear their names, and biggest player that's available. I think definitely biggest player that will be available. Don't even not no shot about it is that it will be Giannis Antetokounmpo, and he is available. I don't know how available he is, but Shams Charania, a insider that has bunch of sources and everybody follows. So he's said a ton of times that this is time for Giannis to go explore the market. And he kind of yesterday honed in on that idea that Giannis is going to test the market and the Bucks are actively searching for deals. So we'll definitely discuss about that and the stuff about the NBA and not really like to hit about the MLB because that's getting after the big moves by the Mets haven't really heated up yet after that, and a lot of players have gone off the board, of course. So yeah, you want to get into the AFC, NFC? You want to start with the NFC Championship?
Either way, Jack. I was thinking maybe more so start with the AFC. I mean, the
Yeah,
much better game
yeah.
was the
So yeah,
NFC
I just threw
game.
on top.
Let's start with the AFC.
AFC, yeah. I'm gonna preview this game, like kind of give you the overview. Snowy game. They're professional athletes. They should be able to play and whatever. But we were bundled up in Jersey and in New York. We were bundled up, snow days, bundled up while they were playing a big time football game. Even though it was in Denver, still was snow was coming down. Um, and yeah, it was a tough game, one of the old fashioned games of two quarterbacks didn't play well. Let's play point blank period, but they didn't turn the ball over like real smash mouth football. The two quarterbacks. Stidham had one pick, but both QBs didn't put their team in harm's way. I feel like, but they also didn't you know if they were gonna win and the Patriots won, the reason wasn't because of Drake May, of course, and he got them to this point, but the reason they won that game wasn't because of Drake May. Defenses showed up, so people like this game, and it was a big game. New England is going back to the Super Bowl, so good for them. Have any thoughts on it?
Yeah, so I guess a snowy game. That was fun. It's always fun to watch a football game, particularly a big game, a playoff game, a championship game in the
Yeah,
snow. I was very windy, so the
yeah.
elements
Remember
clearly
last
played a
year?
factor in the game. I was beyond the snow. It was the swirling winds. Yeah,
Yeah,
Jack.
reminded me of last year, Rams versus Eagles, where the Eagles got out there and won. I think that was last year's. That was a good game against two high-powered teams, offenses. I think at that time, two high-powered offenses, and also two good to great defenses, and that was fun to watch too. And you see, I think that was a little bit more high scoring than this, but you see,
Yeah, it
it's
was.
fun. It's fun to watch, especially when that was at Lincoln Financial. Like that was fun. This also Denver's great atmosphere, so that was fun too. But yeah, it's just atmosphere is great. Snow games are great. It's not great for the players. The players probably don't want to play in snow. They probably like it too, but they'd rather play in better
Well, I think
weather.
the defenses
Yeah,
like it a lot more than the
yeah,
offenses.
yeah. Um, yeah, they probably would want it to be grassier. Sunnier and get their throws off. But good fun to watch. Yeah, you have any thoughts on it?
Yeah, so the first thing I think is Denver was in control of the game early. They were getting three and outs. Their defense was suffocating the Patriots. The Patriots were not moving the ball at all. Denver scores an early touchdown. Stidham made that really good, I think, 54-yard throw. So it wasn't a sustained drive. They didn't march down the field, in a bunch of plays, but they got the big play. and then they were able to get in the end zone with a passing TD. So they go up 7-0 the first quarter. And then the defense, like I said, dominated, and they continue to dominate after the touchdown. Then Denver has the ball. They're driving again. They're on like the 20, 25. They got a 4th and 1, and I got to be transparent and honest. At the time, I thought they should go for it. I kind of think like I'm giving into the way football's played now, where you go for it on 4th and short. 4th and 1, 4th and 2, even 4th and 3 sometimes. So, it's the way the game's played now. And honestly, I trust Sean Payton and I trust his decision making. But even before it was clear the decision that the Broncos made, as I'm watching the game, I just thought, all right, go for it here. Like, you should be able to make this 4th and 1, keep the drive going, hopefully get in the end zone. You make it 14-0. You got a sizable advantage in a game like that. But honestly, after the fact, and it is hindsight's 2020, but I regret my thought process at the time, and it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, obviously I'm not the coach, but if I was the coach, make the decision, some coaches will say, no regrets. That's the call I made. I do it again. If I were the coach, I would say afterwards, you know what? I regret that decision. I regret doing that. Like you kicked the field goal there. It wasn't snowing yet. It started snowing in the second half. So you had favorable conditions for a shorter field goal. You go up 10-0, 2 possessions in that game. You really have the Patriots on their heels. I tend to think if Denver kicks the field goal there, and they probably make it, that they win that game. So, again, I got to be honest, like I thought at the time, go for it. But I think that's where the modern approach driven by analytics falls short. Like it's a defensive game. Denver has a great defense. They're dominating. You get the field goal there, 10-0. That's a not insurmountable advantage, but you got a very favorable advantage at home in that situation. And then the other thing, Jack, is Stidham, throwing that backwards pass, which at first they ruled a forward pass incomplete, which honestly live, I thought it was a forward pass, but then you look at the replay, it clearly was backwards, so it clearly was a fumble. The Patriots in the moment got gypped because they recovered it and ran into the end zone, so it should have been a touchdown right away, but they wind up scoring a touchdown. That play was so bad. I don't care if you're a backup. I don't care if you're third string. Like, what are you doing there? That cost them the game. If he takes the sack there, or I guess he could have got rid of it earlier, throw it out of bounds. But, just like take the sack there, punt the ball. The way your defense is playing, like, honestly, if he doesn't do that there, I think the Broncos win the game. So the Broncos cost themselves with not kicking the field goal, and they cost themselves with Stidham with that play. Look, the Patriots deserve credit. I know it's a common theme. Like, I've been harping on the Patriots schedule and the fortune that they've had, but it's just like you look at what the Broncos did. Like, I say that the Broncos lost the game more than the Patriots won the game.
Yeah, I think so too. And I don't know if it was 4th and 5 and 4th and 6. I think the field goals were on. I don't think it was 4th and 1. Not to try to correct you, but still, I think
that Jack, that play was 4th and 1 when they went for it.
Oh, they went for it.
Yeah, and they ran it to the outside. When they went for it, that was 4th and 1. You're talking about when they went for field goals and they missed it. Broncos missed 2 field goals, right? The Patriots was 1. Yeah, but the Broncos, remember, they went for it. I believe it was in the second quarter, 4th and 1. Yeah. And again, I got to admit, at the time I thought go for it, but then the play call, run it to the outside. It just was a broken play from the get-go. So that really cost them. And then again, Stidham, throwing that ball backwards, it's just an inexcusable, horrible play.
Yeah, I just think that, like, I don't know.
What are you doing there? Like, what are you doing?
It's the 4th and 1, I know, like, you should go for it. I think you should go for it, especially. I think also.
You thought that in the moment as you were watching the game?
Yeah, because Will Lutz, you probably have a ton of respect for him, but the weather it is, and and you have to give trust in your running back as well to get a 4th and 1. I know it's hard.
Well, yeah, they were running the ball well, so that was part of the equation. It's like, all right, they should be able to run this ball and get the first down, but then they run to the outside. The play gets broken. I mean, it just was a disaster for them.
Call me crazy, but I think with Will Lutz already missing one and missing some, I think extra points. No, he just had too few. It just wasn't Will Lutz's game. Call me crazy. 4th and 5, 5 minutes left. I'm not even looking at the analytics. I'm just like, man, I don't know if you really want to. Like, it's a hard situation because you probably the smart thing I think what a lot of people on the other side probably think is that you kick the field goal, obviously because you have Will Lutz, you have a ton of respect to him. But it's too bad situation. You either kick the field goal in the wind, you expect Will Lutz to make it, but you kick the field goal in the wind, or you're having another bad situation where you trust 4th and 5 at the 28 with Jared Stidham. Like, I don't know. It's too bad, tough situations to choose from. I do think they go. I do think they go for it with Bo Nix. I think 4th and 5, especially with how Will Lutz kicked that first field goal, and how
far was the field goal he missed in the fourth quarter?
45 yards.
Yeah, I think you kicked the field goal there. I mean, the wind was at their back. So they were going in the easier direction. I mean, the wind, from what they were saying, was swirling too. It's snowing. So, yeah, I mean, tough conditions. But at the time, I agreed with kicking the field goal there. Because I don't think they were making 4th and 5. The way their offense was playing, the way Stidham was playing, like, they weren't making that. So I think neither choice was a good one.
Yeah, I know.
You were up against it with both of those choices, but I think they had more of a chance of making that field goal than they did making on 4th and 5. Like, to me, there's no way they were going to make it 4th and 5.
I just think as a fan, you'd rather see him just try it, but I think
because their offense didn't do a darn thing.
Yeah.
Pretty much after the touchdown they scored. I mean, they did march the ball down. I guess not the 4th-and-1, but they did nothing.
Yeah.
Pretty much the rest of the game. Certainly the second half. I know you could blame the conditions, but that's the conditions where they're in. Like, again, they have a better chance of making that 45-yard field goal than they do of making 4th-and-5.
Yeah, it's both terrible situations and
if you're a Broncos fan or anybody with the Broncos, like, you have to be so frustrated and disappointed. I mean, losing Bo Nix, like, the Broncos win that game if Bo Nix plays.
Well,
and you know
because
what, Jack,
also that
honestly, I don't care. Like, I can't stand the Patriots, but I'm just gonna be honest. Like, Broncos would have won that game if Bo Nix played.
Well,
you just look at the game. Look at the way that game started.
Yeah,
like, they win that game.
Yeah, a lot of those 4th downs, you probably, I know 4th-and-5, 46-yarder, you probably feel more comfortable throwing it. I think that, like, a lot of those 4th downs where you could kick it, you probably like go for it more often. And I think like, you feel more comfortable in your QB and you don't have to settle for field goals. And I think that they just score more, obviously, because they have their starter. But, those times where it's 4th-and-5 and Stidham is your QB and you need to pass, you need to make a play. I think you in that situation, I would lean towards going for it if you had Bo Nix. Still, the field goal is a smart choice, but Bo Nix, 4th-and-5. I know it's.
Yeah, that's an interesting situation there. Like, I don't know. I guess because of the conditions
and the guy you have to trust your play. I guess.
Boy, that is interesting. If Nix was playing, do you go for it in that situation? Keep the
that also helps them. It probably gives them a better chance if they want to go.
I think I go for it because I don't trust the field goal there, and I think with Nix, they would have had a chance to make that 4th-and-5. But with Stidham, they had no chance.
Yeah.
So clearly, it was a major factor in the game that Stidham was playing because Nix was hurt. Again, the Broncos have Bo Nix; they win the game.
Yeah, I think also more than they would score more points, they just feel more comfortable in the offense. I think that you could score in snow games, and the running was working, but it didn't. I mean, didn't work perfectly. I think the run would have worked more if you had a more capable QB back there.
Oh, no
And
question about it. You open up the run game because you have to
yeah,
respect the pass more. I mean, it's just common
like it would be
sense.
more. It would be more stuff for the Patriots to have to. Like they're a great defense no matter what, but it'd be more stuff for them to have a guard, and they're humans. They're not like they're not going to make every single play, but you give them a chance to make every single play if you're so predictable with your you know with your backup QB.
Yeah, again, from the Broncos standpoint, I mean, you got to be so frustrated. Beyond Bo Nix getting hurt, like you could have won this game without Nix. I mean, it was there for you. You're up 7-0. You control the game. Your defense is dominant. I mean, the only touchdown the Patriots scored is because they got great field position because Stidham made one of the worst plays you ever see.
Yeah, that was a really bad play, and
I mean, it totally
yeah,
changed the game. It's just like, for the people, particularly, Patriots fans and Patriots partisans who want respect and, people that keep saying, well, they've got a favorable road and they've gotten good fortune. It's like they did. I'm sorry. Like the Patriots are very good. They're in the Super Bowl. Like you can't twist it with a team that gets to the Super Bowl and say, they're not that good. Like they're a very good team, but
yeah,
they did have a favorable road. I mean, the last round before Denver with the way Stroud played, the Texans had major injuries. They played a Charger team that was banged up and, just can't seem to get out of their own way. And again, like I'm trying to be fair for it. I'm trying to be fair about it. Um, but just the AFC title game. I mean, it was there for the taking for Denver, even with Stidham playing quarterback.
yeah. It was there for the taking, and they were controlling the run game, and I thought it was gonna be a defensive battle, and this was probably their best type of game they could have won. Like the snow, they're probably so happy snow came down. They probably thought that's big, and they had a chance to win it. So you know, and Drake made 86 passing yards. I mean, like I'm sorry, but it's not it's not gonna cut it for me. I know in the snow, and you did what you had to do to win, but that just doesn't impress me. I'm sorry, it doesn't impress me.
Yeah, look, the Patriots are a very good team. They've earned it. They've had a favorable road. Look, they give their defense credit in this game. May despite 86 yards passing, like he made plays when he needed to, particularly that run to seal the game. With that first
Yeah,
down, and that's a big play. So there's credit. I mean, Vrabel outcoached Sean Payton. I mean, Vrabel is just showing that he's a really good coach. He wins a Super Bowl. I think you got to call him a great coach. He's working his way towards greatness. And if the Patriots win this game, then I think, he probably deserves to be called the great head coach.
yeah,
So, the Patriots do deserve credit, but I think it's very fair to say that the Broncos, lost this game for themselves.
yeah. I think Patriots coaching, they're coached really well. I mean, you don't go from where you were last season to where you are this season without coaching, of course. Yes, you could have better, like Drake May's playing amazingly, but if Drake May played amazingly with bad coaching, they probably wouldn't have done anything. They probably would have went like 7-10 or something like that. Like you have to have great coaching, and it'll tie into whenever we talk about the Super Bowl with that coaching. But they have a very good coaching staff, and they have enough talent that to make them like a very good team. And yes, they had an easy road, but when you build a coaching staff like that under Mike Vrabel, you and you play that successfully, you're supposed to like win games like this, and you're most of the time gonna have the advantage. So, well, that definitely be a talking point, coaching talking point. Which people that don't think the Patriots are gonna win the Super Bowl gotta respect that they have the coaching advantage there. So, we'll definitely talk about that later.
Yeah, I don't know if they have the coaching advantage in the Super Bowl. I mean, Mike McDonald, I know he's a second-year coach, but he's phenomenal. So,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
know. It's close, but you have excellent coaching on both sides.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you had that in both of these conference championship games. I mean, you have Sean Payton, who's an excellent coach. You have Vrabel, who's an excellent coach. Payton's the most experienced of the four head coaches that coached last weekend. And then you have Sean McVay, who's outstanding, arguably the best coach in the NFL. I know you get, Andy Reid, still deserves his credit. I'd probably still put him first. But you had excellent coaching in the conference championship games, and you're going to have it in the Super Bowl as well.
Yeah.
But we'll see what coaching staff, what head coach, coaches better in the Super Bowl. It's going to be a major factor, as it was in the AFC Championship game. I mean, Vrabel and his staff clearly outcoached Sean Payton and his staff.
Yeah. So, very, 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 very good win for the Patriots. Winning in a way that they had to get the win there. They did whatever they can to get out of the Mile High with the win, and they went and they're going to San Francisco. So you got to have respect there. You got to give it, even though people can say and I say they have an easy road. It is what it is. They can easily just say, "Oh, Jack, be quiet. We're a Super Bowl team," and I'll be like, "Okay, fine." I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, even if they have a easy schedule, they're a Super Bowl team, and they made it far enough. So they must not be the worst team ever that everybody keeps saying. Yeah, yes, they played these terrible quarterbacks and they got really lucky, but it is what it is. And sometimes lucky
Again, the
teams,
Patriots are a
yeah,
very good team. I mean, anybody who says otherwise is just too partisan and doesn't like the Patriots or doesn't know what they're talking about. I mean, they're clearly a very good team, but I think it's fair to bring up the road they've gotten. And look, there's different roads to the Super Bowl or to the championship. I mean, you see it in other sports too. Teams, sometimes get a favorable road, and then there's other times there's an unfavorable road. Sometimes you got a great team or a really good team that, has a really tough road and they don't wind up making it to the championship or they don't win it. So your road and matchups do make a difference. But having said that, you get to the Super Bowl, you're a very good team. I
yeah,
think anybody that gets to that game is very good. Doesn't mean you're great. But you're certainly a very good team. And you got to say the team deserves to be there too.
well, yeah, because teams that have an easy schedule that are actually like only because of their easy schedule are usually first round exits, second round exits. Um, you see it all the time with teams that are like very good in the regular season and are first round exits because they had such an easy road. And but the Patriots are different than their team. Yes, you could say they've had an easy road, but they won playoff games, and now they're
They
just
won 3 of them.
yeah, they won 3 of them, and that's impressive in itself. I don't care who they play. You could nitpick whatever, but those are 3 playoff games where one game on the road where the fans are yelling, and I don't know how many road games they play. I think they play 2 games at home, one on the road, right?
Yeah, one on the road. Hey,
Yeah,
very tough environment in
yeah.
Denver.
Like
Tough
it
place
is
to
what
win.
it
I mean, the
is,
Patriots all
and
time were 0-4 in Denver in the playoffs. I don't know how much that matters for this current Patriots team, but that's the history. It's a very tough place to play. Going up against a really good or great defense, turned into very tough conditions in the second half. So, hey, I mean, it's still a good win. It still was clearly not an easy game. But it was favorable for them. Bo Nix gets hurt. I mean, that clearly made a big difference in the game.
yeah, it did, and we can now get to the NFC Championship, the very good game this weekend against the Rams and the Seahawks. Seahawks come out victorious at home. A very, very good performance from both teams. Matthew Stafford tried to get it at the end, and Puka was at not like it would have mattered. I mean, it kind of could have mattered. Matthew Stafford could have threw a Hail Mary, but he was out of bounds or inbounds, and the clock ran, and they had no timeout. So, yeah, a great game from both QBs, in my opinion. Both QBs came in and threw a very good game, kind of the opposite of the other game, and you saw Sam Darnold kind of shut up all the guys that said, "Oh, from his Vikings time, yeah, he's a bad playoff quarterback. Oh, he's a fraud quarterback when it comes to like maybe it's just because he was playing on the Vikings. Like maybe it's just because he playing on the Vikings and they just are a fraudulent team going back to when they had Kirk Cousins.
Exactly.
Like when going back to when they had Kirk Cousins and they lost to, you know, Dory Jackson, the Giants, and Saquon and Daniel Jones. Like going back to that, I guess they are a fraudulent team. They never really coach as well as their coach now in Seattle. Like it's two different situations. I know, yes, you could be still a not good playoff player, but that it is what it is when you have a great coach and they turned him around from, maybe it is right. Maybe he kind of had some jitters in the playoffs and didn't play well, but it definitely changed in Seattle, and he shut everybody up that kind of had thoughts about it because Seattle's coached very well. And yes, you could say, oh, he's in a better situation, but he's playing very good football, and it's really he's the biggest reason why they are. I mean, they are where they are. JSN's great, but the QB, and he's been leading this team very well.
Yeah, I mean, Darnold's been excellent. Look, if anybody still has questions about him, I mean, we'll see how he does in the Super Bowl. Obviously, that's going to be the biggest game
Yeah,
of his life. But this past game was a huge game.
every game is the biggest game of his life. I mean, it obviously is, but I'm just saying as a joke. Like every game is, yeah,
Yeah, they're getting
he's
bigger,
really,
but
yeah,
this game I think clearly featured the two best teams in the NFL. I mean, it seems like that's a consensus that pretty much everybody agrees with that. And Darnold got it done. I don't think there should be major questions about him anymore. I
no,
don't think it should be, he's going to revert back to the old Sam Darnold. Like, I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's unfair. I think he's really proven that he is a very good NFL quarterback. I'm not going to call him elite, but he is a very good NFL quarterback. And, I think Seattle has the quarterback advantage in the Super Bowl. Like, Drake May is excellent, but he's a second-year quarterback. So, I guess people would dispute that. But, I think Seattle has to feel very good about Sam Darnold being their quarterback going into the Super Bowl and what he just did in this game against the Rams.
yeah,
So,
yeah. I bring this up as a thought, like not really a question, or like a comment. Like you compare this year, we have at the helm Drake May and Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, his own right, hasn't really been there, and he could be a veteran. He's been there, done that in big games, but the Super Bowl is different. And you have Drake May in
but
his
he's
first
still a
playoff.
veteran. He's still been in the league
Yeah, yeah,
for a
but
lot longer.
yeah,
I think that matters.
yeah. I'm just saying how different it is from when you have Hurts, who's been to a playoff, been to a Super Bowl, and you have Mahomes, who's
Yeah, it's much
yeah,
different than that.
yeah. So I just think that experience definitely going to go to Darnold. He's been through a lot, and especially in this playoffs, he's been through more. Let's be honest here. That's sad. Yeah, he's been through more. The Rams, big evidence. They eked out that win against Sean McVay. There's no better coach that can scheme you up than. I mean, maybe there is, but he's one of the top ones, and that can scheme you up. And Sam Darnold did a great job. The defense
Yeah,
itself isn't the
exactly.
greatest. Like the defense itself isn't like, you know, top tier, but Sean McVay has made it work for a long time. So it's a great achievement to beat a team like that.
Yeah, and this was a really good game. I mean, these again are the two best teams in the NFL, and you look at the stats. The Rams had 479 total yards. Seattle had 396. So the Rams had quite a bit more yardage than the Rams. I mean, that's over 80 yards more. I think 83 yards more than Seattle did. Yards per play. I mean, 8.3 for LA and Seattle had 6.1. I mean, pass yards, LA had the advantage. Rush yards, LA had the advantage. And I mean, rush yards was 5.2 yards per rush for the Rams. It was 2.9 for Seattle. So the Rams, in terms of offensive numbers, They put up more numbers, but at the end of the day, obviously Seattle won. That's what matters most. But then the turnover, that one turnover really cost the Rams. I mean, you could argue that decided the game. It was 24-20. Later in the third quarter, I forget the guy's name who dropped the punt, mishandled that punt. I mean, that was a major factor in the game. I mean, you could very well argue that if that turnover doesn't happen, that the Rams win. In fact, I kind of think that's the case. I mean, it was 24-20. They were going back and forth. The Rams did have the advantage in terms of the yardage that they put up offensively. It just shows – it goes to show you how consequential turnovers are, that turnovers can really change a game. And it was just one turnover of the game. But, I mean, it was just as costly a turnover as you're going to have. Seattle gets a short field. They score a touchdown right away. They go up 11, and then the Rams wind up scoring a touchdown, but that was it.
Yeah, but one of the biggest, I think, obviously that is big, but I think one of the biggest things I remember from Seattle, which they're obviously going on to play another game, which I'm keeping in mind, is that that 27-31, 5 minutes left in the game, for third down and 4 and 4th and 4 from like the 16 about, or no, actually the 6. That they put clamps, like as we would say, they blocked them down. Seattle locked them down.
Seattle did a great job
I haven't seen
on that
seen
drive. That was terrific defense.
I
Lockdown
haven't seen a
is the
McVay.
right term.
Yeah, I haven't seen a McVay offense like not look just like look a blit like they went to, I think, Terrence Ferguson for the win, and not for the win, to score the touchdown on 4th down. And I think who they go to, they went to some random again, like Mumfield on 3rd down, and then on 4th down they went to Terrence Ferguson. Like Seattle's a different type of team. Like yes, they got 27 points on them, but when it came down to business, I was honestly saying Frank, I honestly thought that it was a shoe-in touchdown for the Rams. Like I knew
I was thinking the same thing too. The way they were marching the ball down the field pretty much all game. But you make a great point. I mean, Seattle, when they needed to get a stop, needed to make plays defensively there at the end on that drive, they got it done. I mean, that was lockdown defense.
Well, yeah, you see where Devontae Adams got locked up so bad he went out of bounds. And he was looking there. And
Seattle deserves a lot of credit. Again, Seattle won this game. It's not like what we were saying about the AFC title game, where you could very well argue that Denver lost a game, even though the Patriots deserve a lot of credit. This game is not a matter of the Rams losing the game more than Seattle. No. Seattle won this game, but that turnover was huge. I mean, I tend to think if that turnover didn't happen, that the Rams win the game. Because their offensive output was a bit better than Seattle's. Really, really even more than a bit better. But that turnover changed the game, and Seattle went up 11. So I just think it's a fact. It's reality that turnover had an enormous impact on the result of that game.
Yeah.
But even having said that, the Rams responded. Nakua made that great catch.
After the taunting play,
the front corner of the end zone.
No, after the taunting
play. Stafford made a really good throw. Like that drive.
That shouldn't even happen. I thought the game, honestly, I thought the game was in hand, but then the Tariq Woolen taunted. That's what led to the touchdown. That shouldn't have.
The taunting penalty was
yes,
huge.
That's right. That's what led up to that.
Yeah, because the Rams were in a situation where it was
20-31. They were going to punt the ball.
What was the down going to be?
What?
It was going to be 4th down and long, but he got the taunting penalty. It was
12.
3rd down.
4th and 12.
It was going to be 4th and 12?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That was huge. I mean, if Seattle had lost that game, then we'd be pointing to that taunting penalty. Yeah, so that really did let the Rams back in it. I mean, look, I don't know if they get the 4th and 12, probably not. But you're right. I mean, that brought the Rams back in the game.
Well, you thought.
And then again, Puka Nacua with that great catch to score that touchdown.
Well, honestly, I thought it was over like 20. Like I know it's pre like I should have really thought about it before saying it's like over, but 2031, like Rams are putting it back to the Seahawks, and it's not like a regular season game where like the Seahawks are some like not coach well, another team you play on. No, they're a team that's going to coach well, and they understand it. They would be up 11. They would just run the ball very well, and Kenneth Walker had a hell of a game and is having a hell of a playoffs. They would just run the ball and waste a lot of time and probably at least score 3 or they would score 7. Like that there, Frank, I thought the game was over. But you come in there, Puka has a touchdown, and then, yeah, I mean, just the way after that fumble, they were able to just come back and, it was a back and forth game here.
Again, it was a really good game.
Seattle got themselves a run for their money. They got themselves a real test.
Two really good teams.
Seattle got themselves a real test, like 17-13, third quarter, 12 minutes, 17 seconds left. You get the fumble recovery. And you score a touchdown. You're up 24-13 with 12 minutes left. I mean, sometimes that, especially with the defense Seattle's played with, it could be over, but Devontae gets a 2-yard TD. Like, then they're back into it. Like, there's a lot of times where the Rams could have just, like, lost. Like, and it could have just been a pull away. The thing on the newspaper could have been just like Seahawks pull away, win by like 14. But it's a big time test for Seattle, and they came out with flying colors. And test for the rookie head coach as well, which I know I was kind of saying stuff about Mike Vrabel versus him, but you bring up a good point. I think Mike McDonald's also a great coach. He was McVay was throwing the whole kitchen sink at him, and the players for the talent for the Rams were playing at their best they can. And Mike McDonald's staff and also the players, yes, the personnel is big too, but the staff did a great job as well. Trying to, they let it happen. Like Devontae Adams is going to score and Puka's going to score, but the staff did a great job at when it mattered the most to kind of call the right plays, and defense is great too. The talent there is good. So it was a good best of both worlds there for Seattle, and they really got pushed to the limit. It's fun to see.
Yeah, it was a fun game. It really did pretty much live up to the expectations. Really good football teams. I'm really disappointed for the Rams. There's things that they're going to be thinking about for a while throughout the offseason. But a situation where the two best teams in football clearly are in the same conference. They battle it out. Seattle being at home was a big difference. I mean, if the Rams had won the division, which it came down to that 2-point conversion, which Seattle successfully converted, which pretty much gave them the division. I mean, it ultimately decided the division. So if the Rams had won the division, I think the Rams are in the Super Bowl. So, it shows you the importance of winning the division, getting home field advantage, and those regular season battles that they had. And then it comes down to 2-point conversion in that second game that they played. I mean, it just was enormous. And Seattle capped it off in the last week of the season with their dominant performance against the Niners to seal the division. So winning that division turned out to matter immensely. Because, again, I think if the Rams had won the division, they'd be playing the Super Bowl.
Well, also, I think that, I was talking about how McVay threw the kitchen sink, but really, how much could he do? They played each other so much, which was also a great watch, too. It was just, no real coaching flair, because they couldn't really do a lot. I mean, yes, you were still trying to win where you can, the coaching department, but McVay and McDonald have seen a lot of these two teams. Like, they were ready, and it was just players go make plays kind of too. I mean, the coaching was big too, but not as big as you see other games in the playoffs, because the other two teams have seen each other a lot. And it was just fun to just see.
Yeah, and this could be a great rivalry for a while. I mean, you would expect both of these teams to be really good for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, Stafford doesn't look like he's going to go away anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, even if he does, obviously we don't know who the Rams' next quarterback would be, but with McVay
Nacua
as the head coach and the program they've established, to me, they'll they'll keep it going. Obviously, you got to get another, at least really good quarterback. I mean, Stafford's a great quarterback. He's going to the Hall of Fame. But I would figure as long as McVay is their coach, like they're going to have a really good program, a really good organization, and at least most years have a really good team. And then with Seattle is building here, and with McDonald and their situation, I mean, it lines up where you could have a really good rivalry, a great rivalry in the NFC West with these two teams. And then you have the Niners as well. So it could be, three really good teams in the NFC West that are battling it out for a while.
Yeah, big team, coach really well. And I think we talk about coaching a lot, and you're probably like bored. Let's talk about the players, Jack. Those are what makes money. Those are what, it's fun to watch. JSN, Jack Smith and Jigba, Puka Nakua play. But sometimes it just comes down to what coaches are coaches on what team. And that's why this time of the season for these rebuilding teams are big too, when they fire their coaches and, they need to get the right coach. So, it just shows coaching matters. I know we want to see those Drake Mays of the world, those MVP players come out and play, but at the end of the day, it's who coaches them. So, a great game from both sides.
Yeah. Jack, I just want to throw this one in there. We didn't have it in our show itinerary for today. How about Bill Belichick not getting voted into the Hall of Fame?
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. Yes. I don't know what he did.
Yeah, I was just scrolling the headlines on Fox Sports, and I came across it like, oh, maybe we should just at least briefly touch on that.
Yeah, I don't know what he did. Like, honestly, I don't know what he did. I don't know if he.
It's such a disgrace. It's like the Hall of Fame is about selecting people for their greatness in that sport. That's what it is. I know they have clauses about what do they call the clause? I'm not thinking of it, but like an integrity clause or morality clause. I'm not thinking of the right word, but it's like, but what's the argument for Belichick? Like, because he's not a nice guy to the media. At least, you see Belichick very charming and very funny and very engaging. Like with the media, he was always a grump. But it's like, what good reason was he left out of the Hall of Fame? I mean, Spygate. I'm reading this article now. Fox Sports, like Spygate should not keep him out of the Hall of Fame. Like he's such a clear-cut Hall of Famer. He's one of the greatest NFL head coaches of all time. He was a great defensive coordinator. I mean, that doesn't get in the Hall of Fame. But, NFL coach, one of the greatest of all time, and is, at least a decent amount. Maybe a lot of people consider him the greatest. He's mentioned with Vince Lombardi. It's just an absolute joke. Like, there's no justification for this.
Yeah, morality clause. I think they call it character clause in national. But that's not what the point. If the
character's the word. You're right.
What?
Character's the word, but what's the character issue with him?
That's for going to jail or something, or doing some crazy
Exactly. It's for committing heinous crimes, doing really heinous things. It's not because you were a grump with the media or you weren't very friendly or even you were a jerk. Like being a jerk shouldn't keep you out of the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
but that's what the process with these Hall of Fames, like baseball, I think of most with these writers. I mean, they don't vote guys in because they don't like them or they weren't a nice guy, or at least they perceive him as not a nice guy. But then other guys get in that don't deserve to be in, but they were a nice guy. Everybody liked them. I mean, it's like that. That's not what Hall of Fame should be about. It's really disgraceful.
Unless it's going to hurt your brand to put him in. Really bad. Where
it shouldn't be about the brand. It should be about who deserves to be in there, who has achieved greatness in that sport.
Yeah, who's achieved greatness? Unless it's like the guy does some heinous crime. It's don't really care about the personality. He's done a lot for the NFL, and also it's a celebration of the NFL and what coaches they have put hat on in the NFL, and what players you got to get the best ones. You have to get the best ones, and unless they're doing some heinous crime, which that's what I'm saying. I don't know what he's able to coach in for North Carolina, so he's must not be doing any heinous crimes. So there's no point, to really unless there's some voters that have personal vendetta against Bill Belichick. There should be no reason, and that's crazy that I'm even saying that because that's how successful a person he was, and how successful football coach he was. There must be some personal vendetta against these voters and Bill Belichick
Yeah.
because there's no because he isn't. I may he doesn't sniff the crime. I haven't really searched it up, but from what I've been ever since I've been born, I haven't seen him sniff a crime at all. Like, yes, he might be.
There's no good reason.
Yeah.
I'm reading Spygate. Spygate is not a good reason.
Well, then you're gonna put Tom Brady out,
right? Are you going to keep him out? You know, I mean, him. I think more of the Deflategate, but no, of course not. The same thing with Spygate with Belichick. I mean, was it shady? You know, did they break the rules? Yeah, but I don't think that should keep him out of the Hall of Fame. Like, I don't see anybody.
Then just say he won 5 Super Bowls or something.
But it's not about that. Like you said, it's personal vendettas. It's not liking him. It's him mistreating the media or being very unfriendly with the media, being very short with the media. Yeah, I mean, he was a total grump with the media. But that should have no bearing on whether or not he's in the Hall of Fame. And clearly, based on his resume, that he should be in the Hall of Fame. If there's no coach ever that's more deserving of it. So it's just
actually, literally, I mean, none. See LeBron even saying this is actually. It was like a myth. I thought Adam Schefter, one of the big NFL journalists or whatever you would call it, tweeters or something like that, insider, was he was hacked or something. There's no way that this guy is out of the first ballot. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how it works. I don't know if he can go back in next year and get the first ballot Hall of Fame. I don't know
well, he can get it again next year.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. But I'm just talk right now. Yeah, I think. Yeah. So. Yeah, I don't understand how he just doesn't get it the first time because, you would think with how many Super Bowls. I mean,
again, it's an absolute joke. It's a disgrace.
Two hands with rings. You can build rings on 2 hands.
There's no justification for it. It's just one of those situations. No, you don't have an argument if you're arguing that he shouldn't be in. There's just no. Sometimes it's rare, but sometimes there's just no argument for something.
I hate being this guy, but you can put rings on 2 hands, and I hate to be this guy, pumping up the Patriots dynasty, but he can, he's won a lot, and he's won a ton, and won the most, I think, that I've seen.
Yeah, in his first 19 years with the Patriots, I mean, the last 5 were not good, but his first 19 years. They went to 9 Super Bowls and they won 6.
Greg Popovich.
And they won the division almost every year. They went to a bunch of conference championship games. It's the most incredible run in the history of football. And it's one of the most incredible runs in the history of sports. It's just clear cut. Belichick, Hall of Fame. Brady, Hall of Fame. That's it. It's just that simple. But for it sounds like 11 of the writers, or at least 11.
Greg Popovich not getting in. It's ridiculous.
It's beyond that.
Yeah.
Beyond that, I mean, obviously Popovich.
No, I think I'm just trying to make
Belichick's a whole other level than Greg Popovich.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get
yeah, I get you.
Yeah,
it's like Vince Lombardi not getting in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's ridiculous, but people now have personal vendettas, and it is what it is. I mean, it's not. It is what it is. There's got to be a stop to it because. There's got to be some way that can make.
And he's 73 years old. I think he's going to be 74 sometime this year. I mean, hopefully he lives a good long life. He's got a lot of years left. But hey, we're not guaranteed anything. So it's another year. Again, I don't want to go too much down that road. But I think it's legitimate to think in those terms. He's older. I hope he's blessed with a good long life. He's here for a long time. But I think you can't help but think in those terms as well. It's you wait another year, but there's just no guarantees in life. So if someone deserves the honor, then they should get the honor, when they're eligible, when
Yeah,
when they truly
especially like
deserve
him.
it.
Yeah,
And
especially
he
like him.
clearly deserves to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
As soon as possible. Definitely with the age too. I think you gotta have some respect there with the age that people are at. Like, yes, if somebody's like 60 and something like that, like, yes, I mean we all, but like if somebody's 70 older and it's like you gotta give them it as soon as possible. You can't have a situation where, knock on wood, you're celebrating with that. Like he's got to celebrate that moment. Like as much as these guys are personal advantages, you got to think about the man. Like you're gonna like he's gonna get it at some point. You don't want him to get it like when he's not. You don't want to. You want him to get it when he's alive. So I think he will. Obviously, hope. But like you gotta.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the odds are, but again, like I can't help but think in those terms as well. It's like he deserves the honor. He should be in first ballot, no question. Like that should have happened.
There's got to be some
So,
morality too with it too. I think that personal advantages or whatever they are, but there's got to be some way you got to check your stuff at the door. Like you can't be. I know it's gonna be hard because there's so many guys to vote on, but you can't be like you can't know Bill Belichick or something. Like, I don't know, like some way, like some way they do like the do jury duty, like where you come in, you got to make sure you have nothing to do with the crime or like you don't know anybody in the crime or something. You're
yeah.
not affiliated. Like I don't know if they're gonna do that, but something like that just to keep it unbiased.
Well,
Like
I've never been a fan of the writers voting for the Hall of Fame. Like I don't look at them as these qualified
end
people.
all be
I know
all
they
type
cover
guy.
the sport, but and particularly with baseball, like I follow the Baseball Hall of Fame more than the other ones.
What about we can have a Roger Goodell
I always
override?
thought like why are the writers voting? Like I don't look at them as these highly qualified people. They cover the teams, all right, like fine. I don't really think that gives them these great credentials to vote for the Hall of Fame. I mean, some of them are great, but some of them are not. Some of them shouldn't be voting for the
Also,
Hall of Fame.
I would be definitely in. Like I know people don't. Whatever people think about Goodell, I just think that there should be something where it can be overridden. Like I know that it's a lot of power, but I think there should be a way where the commission can override it because there's no one that like important doing this. Like this stuff can be definitely overridden. Like we respect the writers and everything, but we got to override this at some
Well, that's
point.
tough because then what situations do you allow the writers' vote to be overridden?
I think you try to like you especially. I think you just do it for just situations like this where it's somebody like Bill Belichick. I think you just got. This is one of those like
Yeah, I just don't know how
Like
you
it,
put that.
just say like knock on wood, Tom Brady doesn't make the first year. Like you gotta
Yeah,
like
but how do you put that into the language of the rules? Like
yeah, I know it's I guess
that's tough. I don't know that that could be done.
I don't yeah, but just you gotta with the and if that just can't get done, the voters just got to I don't know check like stuff at the door. Like you gotta check your morals at the door. Like but check your morals at the door, but also like if this guy's really committed crimes, and yes, he wouldn't even
It's just pathetic with the
you wouldn't
Belichick
even go in there to
situation.
vote on him.
It's
I
so
don't think
petty.
if he
These
committed
writers make it about themselves. It's pathetic.
if he committed crimes, there would be no way you're even going in there to vote on him. Like if you go in and vote on somebody and you think that he's worthy enough to be a Hall of Famer, you should be voting on him. Not because maybe he, you know, said some stuff that didn't make a good story and you're pissed off about it, which I mean you have a right to, but you gotta just vote him in. Like if you gotta just vote him in. Maybe close your eyes and vote him in. Hold your teeth. Bite something. Just get him in. Like you gotta just get him in. Check him most of the door. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So, Jack, you want to shift gears to the NBA and the trade deadline's approaching. I know you want to talk about Giannis. He's on the market now. So, why don't you give us your take on the trade deadline situation, particularly Giannis, and where he could potentially go and how that'll impact the landscape of the NBA for the rest of the season and going into the playoffs.
well, I think landscape I haven't really talked about. I've been more Knicks centric. Oh, the Knicks can get Giannis. Yeah, I mean, it would look for the Knicks. I think a package would look like Cat, Mikal Bridges, McBride, and like whatever seconds they have or first they have. Like would be it for that would offer, and I think that's the thing. Like other teams probably offer more than they want, and that's the young players and picks. Teams like the Timberwolves and teams like the Heat have more young players and more picks than the Knicks have, and that's it. That's all it is. That's all it comes down to. And I know Giannis may be like, oh, I want to go to the Knicks, but I know the Knicks are great, but he probably also wants to go to Miami too, or a place like that. So it's not like he just wants to go to the Knicks. I mean, he could be like that, but I don't see Giannis as the person that'd be like, I want to go to the Knicks, and that's it. Like you're gonna be accepting Cat. I don't think that's gonna be a Giannis person. He might give you a 5, but and you'll be like work it out from there. But I don't think one like I think there's gonna be offers fielded, and I think Giannis gonna be happy wherever he goes. He's that type. Like he's not gonna be forcing anything on anybody. Yes, he could be. I think that this trade is their shopping offers because they don't want him to come there and request a trade. Like they know it's time for Giannis to go. They want to get in, they want to get some young assets, and this could be a bombshell of a trade if it goes through. This trade deadline, and a lot of teams are after him. You see the Timberwolves, you see the Heat. Like I think the Knicks just like it's not possible for them to get it through. But who knows, man? I mean, Cat McKelbridge, they can definitely sell them on that. They're gonna win. They still can win. They still can sell tickets. I guess I mean, it's gonna be hard to sell tickets with Giannis, but you can kind of bring the viewership back up. And if you were to trade with the Heat and get like I don't know some other like young role players that could expire. Like that would really like just like business wise, you get Cat, you get McKell, you get McBride, like and you get a pick. Just like and then you could probably flip like all of them like one by one, get more like a little bit of picks there, a little bit of picks there. Like you could sell that, but I think that what they want is they want young assets now, and I think they obviously are, and they have the leverage here. They have the player, they have Giannis, so they can do whatever the heck they want to. So yeah, I mean, we'll stay here. I think this is a big time. I would be surprised if they. It would. It's weird. I wouldn't like. It wouldn't be like the Luca for Anthony Davis trade. Surprised if the Knicks got him, but I'd be surprised. I think it's possible, but
So
I
how
don't
would
know.
you rank the favorites to get Giannis?
Um, I would say the Knicks are like around like 3 or 4. And that might sound high, but it doesn't really look like there's a lot of teams going. I mean, there's teams going after them, of course. I would say Minnesota's at 1 just because their willingness to just trade everybody but Anthony Edwards for him. Um, and Raptors at, I would say Heat at 1, Minnesota at 2, Raptors at 3, Knicks at 4. So, and that's that. Knicks at 4. It might sound like, oh, the Knicks have a very good. I don't think they do, even though they're at 4. I don't think they do. But what the Knicks offer them is win now package. So maybe they want one. Maybe all this smoke about them wanting a lot of assets is nothing. I mean, they're gonna get assets with players, but like maybe it's all smoke, and they really want Carthy Towns. They really want Mikal Bridges, and they really want to win now. So who really knows? It's kind of a thing. They have all the leverage. They can dictate whatever the trade they want. I mean, they don't really. I mean, it's probably Giannis going to probably be like lean them towards like a few destinations, but they can field. And they're probably going to field for contending teams. Like they're not going to trade Giannis to the Wizards just because they give him a bunch of picks. Like that's not what they're going to do. They're going to probably get Giannis the place that he wants to be. But I don't see Giannis as the guy that would really, be like, send me here now. Like he probably wants to go to New York, but he probably wouldn't be mad if he went to Miami or something like that.
So then the teams you mentioned, Timberwolves, Heat, Raptors, and Knicks, what does it do for those teams? If there's any other team that's in the mix, mention that too. What level does it take to those teams if they got Giannis?
Well, it would change. It would make them. I don't even know I don't really have some trade ideas. I don't know who they would really give up, but let's just the Heat get him. I think Eric Spoelstra and Giannis. It's just there's something about that will definitely make them a contending team. They'll be definitely a team, and they either keep I think Tyler Hero or Bam. Let's say they keep Tyler Hero. I don't know how they would do that, but it's kind of weird because how they would really. So they would keep. I think they win enough, and they would definitely be a team in the East that'd be scary. But I don't really know about them. And then Raptors, they would just trade like Scotty and a few players. Like they would still have probably RJ, Giannis, quickly. Again, I mean these teams are really gonna have to shop a lot. So it's hard. Like man, for these teams to trade for Giannis. It's hard for me to see like they're a complete team that could really like like compete with the Knicks, who are just way more complete than like if they even like they traded RJ quickly in picks like they did for OG. The opposite way, Ingram, Giannis. Still, I mean, it's just Ingram, Giannis, and drop off. Like I know it's like a two-headed monster. Maybe I'm underestimating who Giannis actually is, but like damn, it's not really. These teams are going to have to give a lot, and I don't know if they can compete with because the Knicks have something. They have a. I'll give them this. They have a. The other teams will definitely give them this. They have a very solid 5-man unit, and they've had one from a long time. And maybe 6, 7, and 8. They have a very solid 8-man unit. So don't know if a lot of teams will have that if they trade some of their assets for Giannis.
So where do you ultimately think he winds up?
I hope in New York, but I think the Knicks are the scariest for him to go to because they would still have Jalen and Giannis and Hart and I
Well,
would
what's your prediction? I mean, you had to bet everything you own. Where is he going to be once the trade
Miami.
deadline
I think
passes?
Miami is so where's that?
Does that make Miami the favorite in the East?
Again, I don't know. I really don't know who they give up, and maybe you can't pair up Tyler Hero and Giannis. I don't know if that would make them the favorite in the East. Again, I don't know. The Knicks are a very 5-man unit. This would make them very top heavy. The Heat, and it would make them like have 2 players and a bunch of like role players. Like Knicks have a very solid 8, 9-man unit, and same with the Pistons who are just on a run. Like I don't know. Yes, it would make them one of the top like 5 favorites, but I don't know a lot about that. Like, yeah, I just think they're like a lot of too much, and these teams are already not that good, which is why the Knicks are probably like they'd be the best because they're already a great team already. So they would ship off 2 of those players, get
You think the
one.
Knicks are great?
I mean, great in this term of the Eastern Conference. Second seed is great for. No, I mean, great in terms of the Eastern Conference. Yes, if you're second seed, you're great. They're good. They're good compared to the Heat or who are up and down 25, 23. Like maybe it's
Yeah,
the
I just don't know
Raptors.
how good the Heat will be with Giannis. Like, how much better does he
Also,
make?
the
I mean, clearly
Warriors can
makes him
go out.
better, but how much better?
The Warriors can go out and get them. Well, I'm not. Let me answer that question a little bit after. One more team I want to bring up: Steph Curry and the Warriors. That could be a team that definitely really could go after him. I don't know who they would give up, but you pair up Steph Curry, you pair up Giannis. That dynamic duo is just ridiculous. For the West, but I don't know if they really beat OKC, but that would just be their last ditch effort with Steph Curry. Is getting Giannis. I mean, a pretty good last ditch effort if I say so myself. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, they could be a team too, and he probably wants to go to Golden State as well. Kind of a big market too in Cali. Yeah, I think the Heat are the best one. Miami, great weather. Um, maybe they keep Tyler Hero. You have a guard that's good. I don't know. I think as I break this down, also Minnesota. I just don't know where if you want to go to Minnesota. Minnesota's great, but it's just the just the place is just. I don't know if they can go if they'd rather he would rather go to Miami. I don't know. I think that I think he goes to Miami Heat. I think Pat Riley gets it done.
Pat Riley's known to get it done, so I wouldn't be surprised by that. Jack, in the last couple of minutes we have remaining in today's show, give us your predictions for the Knicks trade deadline. So, what do they do before the deadline? Do they do anything? What do you think is going to happen with the New York Knicks?
I think the Knicks go out and they trade Gershon Yabusele and they package him and Pacone Dadier. They get themselves Mitch Insurance and Yves Misi, who's like a backup center. So and then they get Jose Alvarado, a guard that's very pestering, tough guy, which the Knicks definitely kind of need a tougher guy. Point of attack defender, small but tough, as I'm gonna say. He'll just do a lot of stuff. Just the guy. He's a New York native as well. He's gonna. I feel like he's made to be a Knick right now with the way. And you would trade with the not Trail. You trade with the Pelicans, who are 12-37. Jose Alvarado is a guy, and they also have a lot of guards and fears and Poole. So it's kind of a log jam there. I mean, 7 points per game. It's a big log jam though. I feel like, and I just feel like past the numbers, it's just the defense he gives and the effort and the intensity that kind of reminds you of playoff intensity. And it'd be fun to watch him, watch a guy that can give them juice because Jordan Clarkson has just disappeared and from the rotation, so they definitely need a sure up spot there. Yeah, I think that's where they definitely make a move. They go out and they trade for Jose Alvarado. Then you have Jose Alvarado, Miles McBride off the bench, with Mitchell Robinson. That's your 8-man unit there, and you rock out. I think, and Shamet, of course, 9-man. Shamet's been really good, very good. Sign he's back. I love it. One of my favorite Knicks. I think, surprisingly, one of my favorite Knicks. Good to have him back. So gives him a good to great 9-man unit there, 9 strong man unit. And getting Giannis would probably obviously make them better. Yeah, and there's no but there. I think getting Giannis is number one priority. And I know trading the farm is big, but you pair Jalen Brunson and Giannis together, and you're probably going to keep one of the wings if it's either OG or Mikal. And you keep Josh Hart, the glue guy. You have some of your team there. Yes, the depth is kind of putrid, but you're going to try to piece it together. And you probably still make the Jose Alvarado trade. So, yeah, I mean, it's a lot of just, if they get Giannis, and it's great. But I think the biggest thing is they're going to make trades around the edges, and they got a guard there. They make their 9-man unit very strong.
All right, Jack. So we'll see if you're right. I mean, the deadline is next week. What exact day is it?
February 5th at 3 p.m., I think.
So it's a week from today.
Yeah.
Next Thursday. So, yeah, I mean, we'll get some activity. We'll see how big the activity is, if and where Giannis gets moved.
If he does, yeah.
What the Knicks do.
Yeah. There's
so
also,
it's going to have a big impact on where this season goes.
Want to bring up before this ends, just a quick second. Giannis could just not go anywhere. Also, I mean, that's a big thing.
It's definitely a possibility.
Well, because the Knicks have more tradable first round picks if he really wants to go there in the offseason, and same with Miami. They just get more tradable first, and they just can get more assets. I feel like in the offseason with them first coming available. So yeah, just that too. But I think he really wants to compete right now. There's a chance, big time chance he gets traded. So hopefully we see that bombshell. It'd be great for the NBA.
It'll certainly give us a lot to talk about.
Okay. See you guys later.
See you.